Welcome back. You're watching Sonali at Football Night. We will continue with the discussions with the 11 side and the 8 side. Joshim will continue with that discussion in regards to the 8 side and 11 side. Okay. Now, in the Upajila, we have this 8 side, which is a big success. We all know that. In regards to the Upajila, would you like to see a 11 side tournament?
I think we've already touched base on some of the words, but definitely that's what football is all about. And on the short break, we actually did speak about what our older people are talking about on the pitch and what football they see. They just see no football at the moment. What they like to see is, hold on, football is supposed to be 11-a-side, because they've never seen 8-a-side football. So I think with bringing in 11-a-side, you'll get more spectators, you'll get other people joining in, and they'll understand the football more with the offside rules and some of the most rules against the 8 and with the 11. Definitely, 11-side is...
But you know, these tournaments are one-day tournaments. Indeed. If you go on to an 11-a-side, which the games are longer, it's very hard to finish that tournament in one day.
I don't know, I've seen 16-team tournaments, 20-team tournaments done within one day.
Which is you have to get more pitches on the day.
I believe so, probably 4 groups, however, but it can be done. I've seen it, we've seen it year in, year out.
But 11-a-side, is it really practical to play that 11-a-side final on the same day as well?
It could go against you, it could go with you, it depends. I mean, we probably get more spectators and more different Upazalas joining you in the final. And if it's a week later or a day later, you probably see the team supporters only and with a few extras. But if it's on the day, I probably think that the crowd would be much more on the final.
Mamun, would you like to come on to this?
Yeah, I personally think, you know, it's something I discussed with Sonali last year quite intensely. I said, there should be an 11-side tournament and there should be a leeway where some of the younger generations can get involved in terms of playing wise, because we have some exceptionally talented players who unfortunately can't play. I understand the golden pass, you're here to cater for the veterans.
Yeah.
But there should be a leeway where, okay, you know, why don't we allow 3 or 4 under 35s an option for each team to participate? And I think it's not necessary.
But would it not be very difficult for the under 35s or whoever are the younger guys involved in that team, and we would have a veteran who could be 45 or 47 in that team?
I don't think so. I don't think so. If you look at the Upazila team, and most of them, and I see Imrul as well, he's playing in the Summer League Premier Division. I see Liton playing in the Premier Division. These are veterans players we're talking about.
But these are some of the exceptional players you're naming here.
Yeah, but most of the Upazila players are exceptional players.
But not all the fitness level of all of the...
You need to up your game. The standard of football is going to go up, so you go up your game. That's why you have your over 40s. So if someone is of the age of 46, 47, that's the over 40s there for them. And you know, that's when the veterans come and play. And most of the guys I'm naming, these are quality footballers. And if they, you know, they know the bar's going to be risen, so they need to up their game. And coming back about what we're talking about the final, yes, if we have you on the day, it'll be great atmosphere. But imagine having it 2 weeks later, where Satok gets to the final with Usmani Nogo, and it gives you Satok 2 weeks to go and promote your own final. Imagine how many people you can get into a stadium.
That side is fine. That side is fine. But Imrul, can I bring you in that in regards to this allowing people who are under 35, who are more fitter, you know, and there are people, players who are 45, 47, 48 who are still playing. There's the age gap of 15, 20 years, and how will they tackle this issue if this was to happen?
But there's an equal level, there's a level playing field, pardon the pun, because you've let's say like Mum was mentioning, it's a great idea because you're giving, there's so many youngsters out there who have seen this idea of yours, which is again brilliant, and they want to get involved, they want to participate. So if you're allowing up to 4 on the pitch at any one time, that's the max. So then it's up to the Upazalas to go out across the UK and find the best 4 to 8, however they want a number. They could have 10 in their squad, that's up to them. But they can only have 4 under 35s playing on the pitch at any one time. And that rule applies to all the clubs.
That's fine. But these 4 are, like, they're much younger than the other 7.
But that's my point. You've got another 4 on the opposition side. Yeah. So it just means, like Mama said, the veterans then have to be of a certain level, as do the youngsters coming in as well. So it just makes your tournament more appealing, more attractive to the general Joe public.
Don't you think that as we are going along, as the days are going along, the teams, the veterans level fitness is getting better? But the veterans coming out now is more fitter than the veterans we had 10 years back. Do you think?
Yeah, obviously they're playing more football. Veterans football is huge, particularly in London. Yeah. Up and down the UK now, there's a trend for vets football. But to the question I ask is it to the detriment of the youngsters that are playing within the community, because the attention seems to be on the vets and not the open age football. So if you go with Mamun's idea, then you're kind of giving them the opportunity. So it will only be the best of the best playing for their particular, so you encourage them to continue to play more 11-a-side. So that way they will say, hang on, I need to be part of that. So you're actually doing a service to the community and to our community in particular, because they will then want to play more 11-a-side. Because at the moment I get the feeling no one's really interested in playing 11-a-side. Everybody's more interested in playing, do you know what, I want to get 35 and I want to play 8-a-side vets football.
Okay, thanks Imran. And Sonali, you want to come on to this subject?
Yeah, absolutely, actually. It's a great suggestion to play 11-a-side with a mixture of players, because I've got kids at home which probably play elsewhere and they would like to come in and play with our community, and there isn't anything for them within our community or anything that's competitive. So Sonali Othith being a big organization who do a lot of things for the Bengali football family, so this is something maybe you can introduce and the game can get a lot stronger. A lot of talent that we don't probably know, we don't see, may come and we can see them. As a supporter, it would be nice to see that kind of skills on the field, although the veterans are great.
Yeah. Joshim, I'm going to conclude this subject of 11-a-side and 8-a-side. Although everybody in this panel are favoring the 11-a-side, which is to some extent, which is right. Even I do like watching 11-a-sides, but this we have this technical problem, that with the age gap. If Mamun's proposal which is nice, would you think we'd rather have an open age Upajila than mixing up the veterans and the under 35s?
I think that would be one on its own if it's an open age. Otherwise, now you're going to take out all the veterans who are playing the football, who want that competitiveness. And even if you look at it, with the vets currently at the moment, even if you look at the ages of, I was watching topical play last week against the 35-year-olds. Yeah? At the age of, well, I don't know, I don't want to give his age away, but he's probably at least about 47, 48.
Yeah, he's around that.
He's playing against ages of 10, 12 years difference. And I saw him doing
More
well.
than
So
that.
really, to be honest, when you have youngsters, it doesn't mean they're going to rip you apart. Doesn't mean, you can't play. Who knows play? If you can play football at the age of 50, you can well be against the 16 and 18-year-olds. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, we're going to come back to the District Cup now. District Cup, so who are the favourites in your...
Who are the favourites? I believe this year, as Imran's already said, 20 men that have already registered. That's brilliant from what I've heard. Firstly, I was hearing that they were struggling to put players in. But 20-man squad there, and Mountain said he's got a lot of youngsters coming through now. 23 men there. With us, as you know, we don't really have that many new players coming in, but looking at what I've heard, I believe it could be Hobbygonj or Sylhet.
Are you respecting them? Are you just respecting them?
It's not just respecting. I've seen them. I've seen Mountain manage for long, I don't know, before I've started management, way before, and it's really a quality manager, and I think last year he missed out, this year he's in. He's definitely in for something.
Sorry, Mamun was not in last year, was it?
I was helping Zach manage it.
Okay.
I was managing last
So
year.
what's your view on the favoritism?
I think it's hard to call a favourite. Obviously, holders are always going to be classified as favourites. There's no doubt you've won it, so right.
But you know the team, you know the Shunamgo's team, don't you?
Yeah,
What do you think? Are they
I
really
saw them
strong?
last year, and to be honest, I thought they were a really strong team. There wasn't much in it, even in the final. I think it was 1-0 to Shunamgonj. So it wasn't much in it. Yes, Shunamgonj will be a favourite. Sylhet, no doubt, will be a strong team. And I'm sure with Emil's experience and expertise at Hobbygonj, and again, you just said there's only 4 teams. You need to just probably win 1 or 2 games, got your feet in the final. And you can't completely write off Molly Bazaar itself, even though Pazila tournament 2 years back-to-back final, you can't really write them off as well. So it's hard to pinpoint, but as holders, you'd say Shunamgonj are going to be favourite to retain the cup.
Imran?
They're playing mind games. That's all I know. Do you know what? Put them 2 in the final already. That's what I would say. Yeah, for me, listen, you can't look any further from these 2. I was mentioned earlier about the number of districts we have to choose from. Ours is, and our pool of talent is very limited. Yes, we have 20 players, but again, it's enthusiasm. They want to be here. That we all want to be here and participate. But I think if you're looking at it realistically, and if I look at the two squads, I was fortunate enough to play in that final, and like I said, it was a tight game. It could have gone either way. And obviously with the younger legs coming in, from Mamun's perspective, Mamun's experience of management as well. He knows the players. You know, it's gonna be close, and I think it's one of them two that will take. But like I say again, as I said when I was here for Nobi Gunj, you've got to go there and respect every team. There's only 4. You got to respect them, but not fear them. And from my perspective, and once you get on the pitch, the adrenaline, the desire, the will to win. No one likes to lose. You know, particularly me. I'll do what it takes to win.
Well, you know, gentlemen, here is we have another district who is not here today, which is Moli Bazar.
That's right, yeah.
How much do you know about Joshim? Can I come to you first? How much do you know about Moli Bazar's team?
To be honest, I haven't seen them this year at all since the last group stages.
But you know some of those players, you know that.
Not some of the players, and especially when they played Upazila, we know some of the new players are coming through, and they're getting more and more involved now. I mean, year on year, all the teams are just getting stronger because, as we know, we're going up north now, south, east, every way possible, recruit new players as possible, and everyone's looking for more talent, and therefore the teams are getting better, the competitiveness of the games is getting much harder.
But, you know, when you were talking about favoritism, like Imrul is saying Sunam Gunj or Silat, you know, and you are saying they could be the dark horses, but nobody has mentioned Moli Bazar yet.
No, I've said them, you know, they've reached to Upazila back-to-back final, the 7-side as well, and there's no doubt, you know, they're going to be a strong team. It's hard to pinpoint because if you look at the Upazila tournament that just gone past last month, you know, to be honest, you know, Nobi Gunj to get to the semi-final, no one actually gave him a chance to even get out the group, and then Satok to win it. No one actually put Satok to go and win it. The first game of the day was Biani Bazar versus Dirai, and Dirai beat Biani Bazar.
Yeah, that was the biggest
you know,
shock.
you can't really, it's football, you know, it's very hard to go and pinpoint, okay, this is a favourite. There are going to be shocks. And as much as people would think, okay, Sunam Gunj and Sile are favourites, don't be surprised if there's some surprise results coming through.
Imran, how much do you know about Moli Bazar?
I've seen a few of their players. Again, they've got some exceptionally gifted players there. Again, in the Upazila tournament, they did really well. I was surprised they didn't do better, considering the squad they had, for whatever the reason that is. But like I say, it's tournament football.
But that was Upazila. Now district should be more stronger because
you'd expect so. You've got more of a pool, it's a bigger area to pick from. But again, it's 4 teams, it's 11 aside, it's 40 minutes, it's a long time. First game, everybody gives everything. Second game, you got 5 injuries, and you're left with people on the bench. Don't forget, we were talking to Mamun saying earlier, how many of these players that you've got on your list are actual 11 aside footballers? Going back to my point earlier, there's a difference between 8 aside and 11 aside. And how many of your list of 23 can play 11 aside? How many of them know what an offside is? Let's be honest. And I think that's going to be a big shock. I remember last year playing with a few players who couldn't play offside. Yeah. How can you not play offside?
Well, in the 11 aside?
They didn't know what offside was. They were just standing in offside because they're so used to playing 8 aside. They're standing in an offside position, and you're telling them, and they're like, okay, and that's it. So that is going to be the first challenge. Playing with players who don't know what 11 aside, how to play 11 aside.
Is that true? Last year these things happened?
Yeah, of course it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. I would just say
it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. And
so we have to educate people through 11 aside now, is it?
It's not, even I sent a message to some of my players today, and I said, well, it's not a trial tomorrow because no one at the age of 40 is going to come and show me something I haven't seen over the years, unless you're from out of town and I don't know you. The whole point of that friendly match tomorrow, is gelling. And secondly, the big text I said was, get used to 11-side football again. Yeah. Have a kick around on an 11-side pitch because you guys are so used to, on a narrow 7-side pitch, you used to get used to 11-side pitch.
Well, we shall be continuing with this debate. It's a very interesting debate about the 11-aside and the 8-aside. We are going to go for a quick break again. We'll be back with you shortly. Please stay with us.